Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to a new class, and as we were doing I remember, we are going to finish the part 3 or the MCQs from here also. Okay, a few selective MCQs, and then again we will have the series of it some other day. Let's finish a few just for practice whether we have understood the topic well or not. So before we start, my name is Reshmi Mukherjee, and in my channel you get ICSE, ISC, English literature and English language topics. New books are introduced in your session, and of course the treasure chest for class 9s, Julius Caesar for class 9s, and for 11s and 12 whatever new topics are introduced. For 11 and 12 you have the Reverie and the Prism book and also Macbeth. So all those will be discussed in my channel over here. They are being discussed, so आपको already बहुत सारे materials मिल जाएंगे, and it is being provided in English also. Okay, so it will benefit you from every side, and this is the part 3 of I remember. If you still haven't checked the website slothskill.com, do check it, because very soon we are going to we have published a lot of materials, content, notes over there that will benefit you in your exams. And today we are going to do multiple choice questions or MCQs for class 9 topic I remember. Without any more delay, let's move into our topic. Okay, so this is the first page. What is the, we will read the question slowly and then we will try to understand what can be, we will try to eliminate the options, okay, the other options, and then we can reach the best option. What is the central theme of the poem? Okay, the main content, main theme of it, we have already discussed on this theme in my last class. So first one, we see nature and its beauty. Of course nature and its beauty is provided, but is it the only or the major, the central theme altogether throughout the poem? If it is a romantic poetry, it is a separate thing, that nature is being highlighted over here. But is it so over here? Is there any other theme or only nature? Let's see the rest. Childhood memories and nostalgia. Okay, possibly this, because I remember title, from the title itself we understand that he is nostalgic, he is sad about some past memories that he wishes to recollect, that he recollects and then feels very sad that he has lost those days. Okay, the passage of time and aging, of course this is also a theme but not the central theme, because passage of time, is this the only thing that is shown? The happy moments, the sad moments, that also is visible, right? The speaker's regrets and sorrows, no, happiness is also shown, not just regrets. So the best option which highlights every single thing, the overall poem, is childhood memories and nostalgia, right? If you doubt it, if you have any other query that why D is not correct, why C is not correct, do ask me. Although I have given, I am trying to give the explanation key why the other options are incorrect. Even then, if you have doubts, don't hesitate to write them down in the comment section and send it to me. The poem's refrain, that means this line which is constantly repeating, I remember, to highlight something. So what purpose does it serve? Okay, see, serves primarily, what is its purpose? Create a sense of mystery. Okay, some mysterious thing is going to happen. I remember, so you are thinking what is going to happen, what is that thing which is going to happen? So is it that mystery? Emphasize the speaker's memory. Describe the setting of the poem. Of course it describes, but it is not kind of the primary purpose, right? Express regret and longing. Of course regret and longing is shown, but the best option is it emphasizes the speaker's memory. Okay, it emphasizes that I remember certain things from my past which I still love, but I cannot go back to those days because those days are already gone by. Okay, so option number, this one will be option number B. The correct option is option B. Next, let's move to question 3. The speaker's reflection on the fir trees, as you see even the background picture dikh raha hai aapko, the same one. If you want more such pictures, explanation video has those pictures, so you can find them from there and prepare. That makes the work easier. Okay, so this reflection of fir trees and how they appeared in their childhood is an example of which figure of speech? Simile. Is it a comparison? No such comparison was provided over there if you go back to the poem lines. Paradox, meaning opposite situation, something, some deeper meaning, nothing as such. Personification, the tree is not personified, it is not said that the tree looks down on me, nothing as such. So the best option is imagery. From the word itself I told you, it is kind of image that is created in our mind while we read. How I prepared the picture? By imagining that okay, he is standing, is a small boy who is standing, and he looks up and he sees the huge sized trees which seem to touch heaven or the sky. So that becomes image. So that is an imagery or visual imagery, to be more particular. Let's move to the next page. These three, I believe it is clear to you. Next one. Question number 4. What does the speaker wish had happened in their youth? In his youth, sorry, here is a mistake, so change it, in his youth. Okay, so here all these are incorrect for the same reason. What does the speaker wish had happened in his youth? What does he expect? What would have been better? Okay, that he misses from the youth. He wished he had travelled more. Of course, no such travelling scene is given over here. Wished they had worked harder. No such thing is given over there. Working. Wished the knight had taken his life. Wished he had lived in a different place. Of course, no, he loves that place, right? He still remembers that first home where he lived, the childhood home where the sun peeps. So third option is also incorrect. The best one is that he wished that the knight had taken his life, because this is the paradox over here, that he loves those days, but he still wants that, gosh, I would be dead that day, because I don't want to live these sad moments, these drudgeries of daily life, of grown up life. Okay, I don't like them, so I wish I were dead in that day only. Next one, the poem's mention of lilacs and laburnum trees represents this lilacs, the different kinds of flowers, laburnum tree. What does it represent? Let us eliminate. Speaker's favorite flowers, possibly. The speaker's childhood home, not home, because if he wanted to say about home, he would have talked about the house, how the house looked. So this one, strike it out. Passage of time and change, possibly. The importance of gardening, no, it is not at all a theme. So option A and C remains. Over here, which one is the best point? The passage of time and change. Why? Why is option C correct? Because we see that the laburnum tree was planted by his brother. Now that his brother possibly has died, but the laburnum tree is there. So passage of time, it shows passage of time, that with time the tree has grown, but my brother no longer is living. Okay, so option number C. Through those trees, he shows that those were present those days also when I was a child. Same, but I cannot find the similar kind of happiness that I used to find those days. Okay, in that laburnum tree, swinging from the laburnum tree. Now those days are lost. Okay, passage of time. Question number 6. What do the flowers and trees in the poem symbolize? What does it symbolize, symbolically represent? This word is very important. Literal meaning, symbolic meaning, superficial meaning, they can come as that. According to the question, you will write the answer. Superficial also means from top, not deeper. The passage of time, flowers and trees talk about the passage of time. Okay, let's see if there is anything, because it is symbolic, right? The speaker's love for gardening, again same point, no. Innocence and beauty, the complexities of adulthood, no. Flowers is actually pointing out innocence and beauty that he could enjoy when he himself was very innocent and young. Okay, now that he has grown up, he cannot find the same kind of happiness that he used to derive from these flowers and the birds in the birds making the nest in these flowers and trees. Okay, he cannot find that same amount of joy any longer. Okay, he has grown up, his innocence is lost. So question number 6 clear. Next, question number 7, 8 and 9, let's check. In the poem, the speaker's tone, very important question, tone, can be best described as joyful and carefree. Not throughout, right? Later on he is no longer joyful, so strike out. Tone means overall tone, so we cannot just highlight the childhood tone. Next, reflective and nostalgic, possibly. Angry, he is not angry anywhere. Sarcastic and mocking, he is not mocking anything. Best option is he is reflective, he is thinking about his past, he feels sorry that his past is lost. Okay, and nostalgic. Question 8, what is the significance of the phrase the laburnum on his birthday? Okay, it represents the speaker's favorite tree. Of course, it was his loved tree, but is it the only reason? Significance, symbolizes the speaker's brother's birthday. No, it directly said, I planted it on his birthday. It marks a specific memory from the speaker's childhood. Possibly this seems to be a good option. Signifies the importance of birthdays. Birthday ka importance is nothing important in our poem. So the best option is it marks a specific memory from the speaker's childhood, that on his birthday, on his brother's birthday, he had planted this tree, but then again this tree lived, but my brother is dead. Okay. Time, passage of time. The contrast between the speaker's childhood and adulthood serves to emphasize the speaker's contentment, satisfaction with his current life. Is he satisfied? Of course not satisfied. He is sad. No, he wishes he were dead. Highlight the challenges of youth. Youth में कोई challenge नहीं था. All the challenges he faces is in his present state, that means adulthood. Evoke a sense of nostalgia and longing. Possibly convey the speaker's regret for their past actions. Past में तो he was very satisfied, so there is no regret in those days. So this one is the best option, option number C, nostalgia and longing. So it is very important that you remember this word. Okay, even during while I told you about the theme, I told you nostalgia is very important. Next, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, what is the main effect of the poem's use of paradoxes and irony? Figure of speech may I have described. What is this? So first one, paradoxes and irony. What is the main effect of it? To confuse the speaker. Why will somebody confuse the speaker? There is no talk of humor in the poem. To convey the speaker's complex emotions, to make the poem difficult to understand. That should never be the purpose of a poet, right? Yeah, I will write a poem and I will make it very difficult for the readers. That is never true. So option number C is the correct one. Next, question number 11. The phrase flowers made of light in the poem is an example. I told you while teaching, flowers made of light. This is what? This is of course metaphor, because it is comparing the flowers, the brightness of the flowers to light itself. Okay. Next, in the line, my spirit flew in feathers then, what figure of speech is used to describe the speaker's spirit? My spirit is compared to the flight of the birds, the spirit of the birds that can fly. So this is of course without using like or as comparison. So this is also a metaphor. We will move on to, we are not discussing the rest of the options because it is useless. I have told you while teaching the lines, okay, what are the figures of speech used in these lines. So we can directly find out, no need of eliminating the other options. Next one, question 13 and 14, let's see. The use of phrase further off from heaven, okay, further off from heaven is an example of which figure of speech? Hyperbole, alliteration. Alliteration, is there alliteration? Yes, there is alliteration also. F is there, F is there. Okay, so alliteration is also possible. If you are writing it, you are not incorrect. Irony, nothing as such ironical is here. Metaphor, no such metaphor is there. Further off from heaven, no. So it is also hyperbole and it can also be alliteration. Both the answers are correct. Why hyperbole? Because you see, when we are child, we have strange imaginings that the heaven is very close to earth or something as such. But in reality, is nothing like that, right? It is far away from heaven. Even whatever we call a heaven, that is far away. But because we are young and innocent, we believe that. So that can be hyperbole, which is an exaggeration, because when we are child, we think everything is so beautiful. But when we grow, it is just like heaven where everything is good and beautiful. But when we grow up, we experience certain bad things and we see the competitive world and we become, we realize certain things, that world is not the best place. So heaven is far from world. So question number 14, what figure of speech is employed when the speaker says the sun came peeping in at the morn? The first stanza, I have already explained you, this is personification. Why? Because sun is an inanimate substance, and when you say peeping, it means looking like this. So this is a human attribute, that human beings can look like this, can peep into your house and see what you are doing. So that quality is given to the inanimate substance, which is sun. That is why it is going to be personification. Okay, so we have done 14 questions and I believe it has allowed you a complete scope of what kind of questions can come: theme based, style based, tone based, setting based, okay, figures of speech based. So you can now write the MCQs or even few questions. We will discuss questions, no worries, but at least this much is clear to you, isn't it? So if it is clear, don't forget to write it down in the comment section so that I know whether the idea is clear for you or not, and then we will move on to the rest of the portions, the question answers, the other topics and all. Okay, thank you so much. See you in my next class, and of course don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye bye.